Yes, guys and girls, welcome back to the Play Fight channel. My name is John. I'm joined today by Alex and Larry. And today we're going to talk about games that we are looking forward to coming out this year in the year 2023. Of course, if we miss any games out, let us know in the comment section down below. But before all that, let's talk about what we're excited for. Larry, start us off. What is the first game you're looking forward to this year?
First things first, he's got to be the one. I think, ironical. If you remember last time we did the views, admittedly, both games I was actually kind of looking forward to, bar 20x7, actually got delayed till next year, this year. And that one's been delayed by another year, but that's by the by. No, the first one I was talking about is Test Drive Solar Crown, which I know probably some people are like, oh, and then there'll be some people going, oh yeah, I know what you're on about. In short, Test Drive Solar Crown is the third and sort of I wouldn't say remake, but relaunch of the Test Drive set franchise that was originally done with Atari many years ago on the Xbox, PlayStation 2, PS3, and PC. Legendary. I mean, the 360, I think, Test 2, you can still technically play, I believe, I might be wrong, on Xbox One. I might be wrong on that due to backwards compatibility. Anyway, that game is still to this day very ahead of its time. With the first one, you could rent cars, and which has never been done since. And also, like, you could go casinos, you could upgrade cars, choose housing with garages, put your cars in your garages, get nice swanky clothes, haircuts. And then with the second, you also got, I think, plastic surgery. It was a bit adult, especially with the 12th one. I know it was a 12, but the maps were the thing that made it lovely, and the radio stations, because they were one-to-one sizes of maps of actual locations. So in the first game, it was Ibiza, and then the second one was Hawaii and Ibiza. Where with this one, it's going to be, as far as we know, a one-to-one of Hong Kong Island, which is, I mean, that's the nearest thing we're going to get to Japan. And from the trailers we've seen, still no gameplay, but from the trailers we've seen, it just looks phenomenal. And from what we think of as a test drive game, especially after the concerns, because obviously it's a new company, and then someone said, "Oh no, I used to work at the old test drive." I go, okay, we're cool, we're safe. We can kind of relax for a bit. But no, it looks really good, really good.
Nice. Alex, what is the first game you're looking forward to this year? I caught him off guard then.
So my first game I'm looking forward to, which is coming out on the 24th of January, is Forspoken. So it's a game made by Square Enix, and Forspoken follows the journey of Frey, a young New Yorker transported to the beautiful and cruel land of Athia in search of a way home. Frey must use her newfound magical abilities to traverse sprawling landscapes and battle mysterious creatures. So the reason why I'm looking forward to this is because I just love different designs of, like, I love creatures, monsters. You know, I'm a massive fan of Monster Hunter, so I absolutely love that. And I also love the abilities that she has. So she uses a lot of magic. So she uses like magic combat. So she uses like spells. She uses like this ability where she gets like these ropes that come out of the ground, and they pull the monsters underneath the ground.
She poison ivy.
Yeah, similar. Yeah. So that's one thing that I like about what she does. But then also, she has a wide range of powerful abilities, catering to a variety of play styles, from fast-paced to exhilarating to strategic, and I don't know what that says. But yeah, she has a lot of different ways of killing enemies. But the main reason why I do want to play this, and as I said, it is the creatures and monsters, and just the open world of it. I mean, the world is beautiful. I played the demo briefly on my channel, but I didn't upload it. But I did play it briefly on the beta, and I thought it was really good. It did seem to like lag a little bit. It might be just obviously where it is a beta. It's not it's not the full game. But overall, it did play quite well. And there's different levels of the enemies as well. So when you look at the enemies, they'll have like the little level bar at the top. So I'm guessing that there are going to be certain bosses in the areas that you travel that you can't fight.
Oh,
And you have to get to a certain level.
yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
it
I thought it
does
was
look
quite good.
good. It does
Yeah,
look good.
the
However,
graphics is good, and
no,
you know,
yeah, it does look
with
really good.
Square,
However,
with Square Enix, you know, they make amazing games like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So you know,
are you sure about that? The last few games have been a bit of a flop, so bad. In fact, they've not lasted a year.
yeah, but
Babylon's Fall
yeah, but
and
most of all,
I
like
think Cuckoo GP.
no, but you got to think like back in the 2000s, Square Enix was like on point with their games.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You
I
know,
think
that's what I'm talking about. I'm
I
not
would
talking
say.
about present day games. I'm talking about just in general.
Oh no,
Their
yeah.
variety, and their library of games are really good. You know,
Yeah, most of their games are pretty good. Most of them, not all, but most.
but yeah, that's my number one so far is Forspoken. That's my favorite at the moment.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay.
So
What's yours?
my first one I want to talk about is I mentioned it on the podcast. Funnily enough, was Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was mad.
I was gonna say that's the sequel to that one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It was wicked. You know, it was a game that everyone seems to think it was released first on the Switch. Obviously, it wasn't. It was on the Wii U. But
well.
when it come to the Switch, it just blew like the game blew up.
I think they both came out at the same time. I think they both came out at the same time, or it was. Or did they delay the Wii U port? I can't remember. They both came out at the same time, or they delayed the Wii port because of quality issues.
But
I think
yeah, it was wicked, really good game. And
hard.
This come out last year. It got got delayed quite quickly, but it's worth the wait. You know, it's a game that we've looked for. I think the first one came out like 2017, if I'm correct.
Because it was one of the launch titles for the Switch,
Yeah,
and I remember
it came out later in the year of the Switch. So like when the Switch released, it was like a few months after.
Yeah.
Their release title was Mario Kart, wasn't it? It was Mario Kart 7.
And multi-Switch.
But yeah, it was really good. So much, like it was such a deep game, which most of the Zelda games are anyway. They're not exactly like
just
games
very difficult and very different. More like a Dark Souls than a typical.
But that's what interested me. You know, it was good because it was different, and it was different in a good way. You know, it wasn't different and like made me turn on the franchise. It was different.
Yeah. I be honest, it turned me off.
No,
it completely worse for me because
really
I prefer the old stuff. I like the more, I wouldn't say easier, but the more kind of less you have to keep an eye on weapons, keep changing to a club and using sticks, which break all the flipping time. For me, I just prefer the old kind of puzzle element of the older games.
I think it had enough of that. I feel like
Link's Awakening. I prefer Link's Awakening and Skyward Sword. For me personally, I just
talking of games we're looking forward to, it's one that I am looking forward to. It's one that, once I'd finished Breath of the Wild, I've played it again and again, just waiting for this new release, and we're finally going to get it in May. So, very much looking forward to that, and that'll be one I'll grab like instantly.
John, you'll get there completing it. You'll get there. You'll get there.
It's a slow one from what I've heard. It's very slow, but it's a very well worth game.
Go on then, Larry. What was your second?
Okay, my second game technically hasn't been announced or given a name yet, but I'm 99.99999% sure it is going to happen this year because it's normally an annual series, which is WRC or the World Rally Championship. But why am I looking forward to it this year than any other year? Because obviously it's been done every year because it's not been done by KT, who was done by Nacon, which was originally Big Ben Studios, which is ironically not in London, it was in France. It has been done by Codemasters, which are obviously the British-based, now owned by EA. So who knows what it's actually been called? It's going to be EA WRC or EA Rally, whatever. But Codemasters obviously are famous for a couple of games. Obviously, the Formula 1 games, the TOCA games from the past, and Colin McRae Rally, or Dirt, as it's now known. Now, Dirt Rally was basically like the WRC clone, but obviously without the WRC licensing. They obtained the license a couple of years ago, and I remember this when that got announced. This was like major news, and now it's obviously coming out this year. I am so looking forward to it. This is the game I'm hoping it should be. If they can keep it as basically what it was with Dirt Rally 2.0, which was a masterpiece of a rally game, and Rallycross, although we might lose the Rallycross, it is going to be probably the best rally game we've had probably in years, and will be very much loved. And with that new hybrid system, it's definitely going to be a game I am looking forward to. Will I be getting good at? Absolutely not. But will I try? Absolutely. It's a much more easy game because I've tried the more recent WRCs from 8, 9, and I haven't tried Generations, but it was the same. It's always been the handling. They sort of lost it with 5, 6, and 7. It was pretty good, but they then changed it, and it was uncontrollable for me. I couldn't play it. So hopefully, as long as I keep it with Dirt Rally 2.0, it will be fantastic. It will be memorable. It will be the best WRC game in years.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Alex, game number 2, please.
So, game number 2 on my favourites coming up is Wild Hearts. So, if you guys don't know what Wild Hearts is, it's made by EA. I'm not going to say any more. But fingers crossed they don't put any of their
microtransactions.
Everything else that they love.
Is it MMO or is it just a single player?
And let me explain it, Larry. So, Wild Hearts is a unique twist of a hunting genre where technology gives you a fighting chance against fearsome beasts, infused with a ferocious power of nature itself. And you take on the creatures alone or hunt with friends in a simulous co-op. So similar to like Monster Hunter, you can also play as a team of 4, or you can go as your own.
Oh, yeah.
And it's obviously developed by Omega Force, the Japanese studio behind Dynasty Warriors. If you don't know what that is, that game is basically like just chaos. You go around and just fight hordes and hordes of people, and it's like pretty fun. It's one of the earlier games I played on the PS2. I played quite a lot of that back in the day. And yeah, obviously then they partnered up with EA Originals. And yeah, Wild Heart takes you on an epic adventure set in a fantasy world inspired by Feudal Japan. So it's obviously a Japanese theme. So a lot of the creatures and monsters, like there's like a wolf, which is like it's like a tribal wolf, but it's Japanese. And I've actually got one on my leg. A tattoo of it on my leg.
Are they based on like Japanese kind of like the myths and
so
are they all made
creatures, up? Their ideas are from Japan mythical creatures. So there is a wolf, and it's like a frost wolf, and it's Japanese themed, and that's what the actual game is. Yeah. It's I think it's set. Well, as it says, it's set based in where is it?
What the mean?
Yeah, it says it's master ancient tech to hunt down giant beasts through a fantasy world inspired by, it says, in Japan. So it's like a Japan fantasy world, pretty much. But yeah, guys, that's my second favourite. That comes out on the 17th of February this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I think out of all of us, I think that's the most the first unusual to come out.
Yeah. Well, no, Forspoken's the first one, and then Wild Hearts will be this. Hogwarts will be before that. Hogwarts is early February. This is mid February. So.
I'll be honest, it's not really what it's expected. Someone's going to mention.
I'm going to be a very, very busy boy this year.
Yeah, legit. That's what I love about gaming. You always got like. I know there's times where we feel like, oh, I've got nothing to play. I've been playing the same one.
I know last year that happened because everything got delayed.
This will be good. I can't wait to play. Oh, it's not coming out. Oh, it's fine because this is not coming out either.
Well, did you hear, John, that obviously what happened with Skulls and Bones again?
Yes, that's been delayed for the 6th time.
Yeah.
That'll be mentioned in the next podcast, depending on when this is released.
I played the beta of that and it was actually really good. Really good.
How similar is that to Black Flag?
Oh, there's a lot more in it. A lot more.
It's a lot more.
I was going to say, is it the gameplay very similar, or is it still?
A little bit.
I was going to say, if they keep,
because it's not an actual pirate, it's not an actual ship game. It's Assassin's Creed. You know.
Yeah. But no, like Assassin's Creed 4 was basically pirates. But
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
way to run it, though. All right.
Okay.
So my other game is Dead Island 2. Now, for those that know me on a real level,
yes, yes,
I
yes,
love
yes, yes, yes.
zombie
I've been looking forward to this as well. Actually,
I
It's-
love zombie games to death, pardon the pun. And what I was really disappointed, I'll be completely honest, by Back for Blood.
yeah,
Expecting
same.
a great game, and I played it, I played through it, and I was like, oh,
And I like.
was that it? But yeah, Dead Island 2, they've always smashed it out of the park.
Well, no, we've been waiting for Dead Island 2 for I think it's over 10 years.
Literally.
Or so.
Very long time. And it feels like it's been forever. I mean, it has. But yeah, it's finally coming out. It comes out in April, I believe, off the top of my head.
From what I remember, I think because I do know because I remember obviously the trailer looked very different from the original trailer that was shown off.
Well,
years
you'd
ago.
like to think it's been that bloody long.
I think it's actually been made by a different company.
I'm not 100% to be honest, but
I think that's what's happened. That's why it's taken. Yeah, I think.
Sorry, John.
It
What
was
was the
what-
game?
Dead
Dead
Island 2.
Island 2.
Oh, 20. I'll tell you when it is.
I know it's
27th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm literally just looking it up. It is the 28th of April. 28. I was close. I was a day out.
Yeah, because I know because obviously, and hopefully, finally, we can get this play because it looks like the more wacky side of things, which even looks wackier than the ones from the old games of Riptide and.
I
Yeah.
would say
Dead
that
Island.
Dying Light is a more serious one to Dead Island.
Yeah,
Dead Island's like Dead Rising. Dead
Yeah,
Rising
I'd
was,
say so.
you know.
You know what? I still play Riptide now quite often, to be honest.
Because it is basically a sequel. So technically, Dead Island 2 is Dead Island 3, really.
Yeah, technically. Dead
But I
Island.
would say probably Dead Island 1 is more of a continuation from the first one.
Yeah. But anyway,
Riptide,
yeah, it's a game I'm looking forward to. I love zombie games, and from what I've seen already, I feel like it's going to be a lot more enjoyable than Back for Blood. Like I liked Back for Blood, but it was just a 5-minute game.
Yeah.
Something I played, finished, and I was like, all right, well, that's that game done. The only plus side about Back for Blood is that it was a Game Pass day one, so I didn't pay a penny for it.
Yeah.
Because I would have been
No.
a bit, if I'm honest. And the people
Yeah.
that have paid for Back for Blood, I feel like they've been ripped off a little bit. Like it's a
No.
playable game, but it's just too short for me.
Not as good as Left 4 Dead. Even I've started playing Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and they're good.
Yeah,
they're
I still play
good.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Well, John, nothing beats Left 4 Dead. Nothing.
No, I feel like this is gonna. I really do. I feel like this is gonna.
I would say Dead Island is different from
You
Left 4
got-
Dead, but
You got to think that like eventually Left 4 Dead will finish its time. Like it's a 2008. It's come out in 2008. That game.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
yeah,
that's
it's still talked about. It's still brilliant.
It is. It is. It's
There's a lot of content in it.
You know? Yeah.
no, it's good. All right.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions. Because obviously there's people that we can't join us today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Go on, what you
Yeah,
say?
one I know, Peach did. I think was the Star Wars, whatever it's the new
Jedi
Star Wars.
Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi's Last Survivor.
Lone Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah, Lone Survivor. That even I must be honest. I played the original, not finished it, but I played the original. Even I must be honest. That was damn good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
As
that.
long as they keep,
I was gonna
as long as they don't mess that one up, they've got a genuinely good series on their hands on that one. But you know what?
Oh,
you
John,
gotta
this
do.
was a mention that I actually forgot to not put in.
Go on.
Was Wulong Fallen Dynasty.
I've not seen anything about that. To
So
be honest.
yeah, so Wulong, so they showcased this at the PlayStation Showcase last summer, and it is basically like a Chinese version or a Chinese mythical creatures again, similar to Dark Souls. So it's hard,
I'm sorry to sing a pattern here.
and it says so it follows a dramatic, action-packed story. Fighting for the survival in a dark fantasy version of later Han Dynasty, where demons plague the Three Kingdoms. But I actually haven't seen much gameplay on it apart from when they showcased
Very
it.
little.
But that comes out on the 8th of March.
Oh, that's not too far either.
No, sorry, 3rd of March. Sorry, my bad, 3rd of March.
Oh, nice. So, what else? There was a couple more honorable mentions.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of guys. There was Dead Space.
Yes, I am looking forward to that. I've been playing.
Well, especially after Coastal Protocol, which has been an absolute poor take, apart from the whole gruesome
I,
deaths. Apart from
I
that, everyone
thoroughly
hates.
enjoyed Callisto Protocol. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
what
didn't-
they
I didn't
gave
hate
it a try, and I think it was really good.
Yeah,
Really good.
it was different, and that's
Yeah.
you know, I've got a lot of respect for games that come out that are different. They try something new. Sometimes it works,
That's it.
sometimes it don't, and it is, you know, it's not a lambasted game, but I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was
Like, in all fairness,
playable.
everyone knows that they got aspects, and the guy that actually led the project of that game, he used to work for EA and made Dead Space, so he's obviously created the same way of Dead Space, but in a different kind of way. And they've
Yeah.
given it a try, as you said. They've given it a try. They've seen how it goes. They'll get the feedback from it, and then see if they make a sequel from it.
Probably
that's
not
it.
from-
You know.
Probably not, who knows? But
I mean, the
yeah,
guy
and then
that
there
played
was
the main character was very well known. He was in Transformers.
Yeah.
oh jeez, oh
Very,
jeez,
very well known actor. Yeah.
There was
then
obviously Dead Space.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Resident Evil 4. Well, the remake, obviously, because there's been more than one Resident Evil. But even I must be honest. Yeah, obviously, I think a lot of people say they've got to make it good as 2, not 3. Also,
Oh, they'll make it 10 times better than 2 and 3.
well,
They'll
and
have plenty of
hopefully
time to do this. And
they'll
obviously,
keep
because it's a
that
next gen
difficulty
exclusive,
system.
they have
And
to
also-
focus on
yeah.
next gen graphics.
already game.
And also, yeah,
Yeah.
also they've got to keep that difficulty system from Resident Evil 4 because there was no difficulty system. It basically, depending on how well you play, it changed as
Yeah.
you played.
Yeah.
And also, although they have killed off the dog, so that's
And
something.
obviously, which was, I think it was Larry's mention in last year's video.
yes, yes,
from
it was. And I know also
Fine.
Jay has it on her list, and I know one of our other guys is also on the list, and that's Hogwarts Legacy.
So
which
yeah, we're finally
just
going to get that
looks-
as well.
Yeah, I know it's yeah.
I'll be honest, and again, I've mentioned this a million times. Even though I'm not a Harry Potter fan, I'm going to pick it up because
Have you
love
looked at
the
the
game.
gameplay? Have you looked at the gameplay?
yeah, I've seen loads of it.
I mean, it's just, I mean, they basically say anywhere you can see, you can go to. You can use the brooms, you can use Buckbeak, basically, Hippogriff, that's it, Hippogriff. Everything, you got the animals and everything. It's, oh my word. Yeah, this feels, I know there are some people still wanting to boycott it. I know, I'm very well aware, but I'm not. It's a game that I'm really, it's basically the perfect Harry Potter. This is a Harry Potter game we've been wanting for years.
Exactly.
Like,
you know, I think it's more desirable. Well, not even more desirable. Everyone wanted it anyway. But the fact that we've had to wait another year for it, it's got me wanting to play it even more.
Yeah. I mean, is there any other games in front of it? Because obviously I think we've mentioned the only other thing I see is also the, sorry, what you
You've
got to
got
say?
Final Fantasy 16 coming out on the 22nd of June. Final Fantasy 16.
You've also got the two biggest street fighting games, Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8.
Yeah, it must
I
be.
think it's coming out this. I think it's 8. Yeah. Tekken 8. That's also coming out this year.
I don't think they're given a date for that yet.
What, Tekken 8? I know Street Fighter 6. I know
the Street Fighter that comes
this year.
on the so Street Fighter 6 comes out on the 2nd of June.
Please do not mess this one up.
Tekken actually hasn't got a date yet. Tekken's not got a date
I
yet.
think it is meant to come out this year. I know Street Fighter. As long as they don't mess up.
I'm surprised if they bring both out this year, because that'll be a good competitive way. But I doubt that they'll bring two fighting games in the same year.
Well, by different companies. Just saying. But also,
they're competitive games. Like either you like Street Fighter or you like Tekken. It's
Only thing I would say is please do not do what you did with Street Fighter 5 when it originally came out. Please, just do what he did after, and then that'd be fine. Because basically, when they originally released Street Fighter 5, they basically released it just as a no arcade mode, which was basically competitive, and that was it with very few characters. You're thinking, give us a load of characters with it. That's what you want.
That's what fighting games are. Like, that's the staple. Why change?
You want the story mode. You just bring the story mode as well. Give us the arcade, because they didn't even have arcade mode, I think, in the original.
Yeah.
It was so lackluster.
Very
But I'm
true.
trying, is there any other games we're trying to remember? There's no horror. I think it was
John, I forgot to tell you this one. You know, Curse of the Sea Rats.
Oh, is
Have you
that
not
this?
seen that?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Curse of the Sea Rats comes out on the 6th of April.
That looks.
But that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm,
Curse of the
I'm
Sea
trying
Rats.
to. I'm trying to. Is there any other games?
But you got that
coming
new
out?
racing one, Larry. TTS.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, TTRs of Man. Sorry, not TTS.
I mean, it's
the
meant to use
motorbike
the
racing.
rider. I mean, I'll be honest. If there's any other racing games, I need to mention it's all obviously Forza Motorsport because that's coming up this
Yeah,
year.
that hasn't had a release date, but they are
It is
showcasing it.
100% this year.
I think they're showcasing it in the next Xbox thing. I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know there's also one I should mention, obviously Rensport, but that I would have to go into detail on that because that's so common because there's a big esports scene coming into that. I mean, big scene into that, but there's a bit of unclearance of what exactly is going on with it. But I know that's coming out this year as well. But who knows what's going on with that?
I think that is about that is
Yeah.
the time to wrap it up. So thank you all for
So.
watching. If there's any games that we missed out, drop them in the comment section down below. Of course, remember to like the video, share it about with your friends, and if you're new around here, click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss out. Until next time, guys, I've been John, that's been Larry, that's been Alex, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Peace and love. See you next time.